It's tournament time, baby. And it's the Liberty, well, not the Liberty, the Flame Central podcast. Wow, I didn't even take a week off and I'm already resting.
That was not powered by Alcova.
That was not.
Yeah, do this again. Do it. Give me a powered by
Joe,
Alcova.
this is
Lead it off with a bang.
This is what it's all about. Learning from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Lessons in losing.
Okay, it's the Flame Central podcast. And it's powered by Alcova Mortgage. If you came for some good laughs today and just great overall content, you came to the right place. I have no idea what we're going to talk about on today's podcast, but it'll be fun. We have a great guest. She is the MVP from the ASUN Indoor Track and Field Championships. Calli Doan is coming on the show. Yeah, we're going back to Calli. Some funny stuff that you're going to learn some new terms.
Right.
So if you're not a big track and field person, I don't care.
You will be after this.
You will be after
for
this.
Everybody.
Track is great.
Yeah.
Let's go back to a couple shows ago when Joe said that he can break, what, was it 5 or 6 minutes?
6 minute mile.
And the mile. We're gonna put Calli to the test.
We've had multiple we have had multiple requests to put him to the test on that, and there's some things in the works.
Oh my gosh.
And that is in the works
just hold off just a minute for that interview. The Liberty men's and women's program both took the ASUN titles on Saturday. That is 26 straight indoor and outdoor conference championships for men's track and field.
That's unbelievable.
Total domination.
Total domination. The next best, I think it's 10.
In the country?
In the country. In the nation.
I always think about with that, it's like, think about the pressure that's there. Because you slip up one time, like you win it, what does everybody do? Oh, good job. Yeah, that's what we expect. You've done it 25 years in a row.
Right.
You lose it, and it's like, what's wrong?
Yeah,
you finished second?
I know.
Like, think about the pressure of that. The expectations are so high, yet year after year after year, they find a way to
what that
deliver.
comes down to?
What's that?
Matt Warner? Depth.
Yeah.
You got to have depth. And and I think, and you'll hear Calli always talk about this, is being good at a lot of different
everything.
You can skin the cat. The way track and field works out, you can skin the cat a lot of different ways, right? You can be a great sprint team. You can be a great distance team. You can do it just off of field events.
Yeah. Right.
There's a lot of different ways that you can do it, and the way that Liberty's chosen to do it by trying to be good at everything.
Yeah. And they won with still having a lot of injuries that they were battling on Saturday. And fruit of the show, but Kennedy Salter takes his shirt off after he clears, I think it was like 7'2.5".
7'2"?
He's legit.
And
7'2"
last year I think he did 7'4 1/4.
He made nationals last year.
Yeah. So he takes his shirt off and is celebrating, screaming. Well, he almost got DQ'd for that. So I'm like, I did my post interview with him, and I'm like, listen up. I'm not trying to be the mother here, but you need to keep your shirt on.
Yeah.
But
that's
great weekend.
That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me at pickleball night.
Yeah, right.
Joe, put your shirt back.
Oh my gosh. That's why you do the double layer. You got the vest now.
Yeah, I'm double layer.
As long as you're wearing sleeves under the vest. Because when you go sleeveless on the vest, it's just.
I'm going to go sleeveless one day. I'm going to do my push-ups before I come in here, and I'm going sleeveless.
We also have some great content coming from the mailbag later in the show.
Mailbag!
Hopefully you won't have to listen to that every week, but flamecentral@liberty.edu if you want to send any criticism or questions. But let's start. It's tournament time.
Yeah.
I'm just pumped up because I know you guys don't like track as much as I do. But
I love track.
It's like that interview fired me up that we just wrapped up. So, but we'll get to that in just a minute. ASUN basketball starts at
Madness begins.
With Naz. We're on the call tonight.
North Florida Bellarmine.
Yeah, I love it.
This is going to be wild. There might be 30 people there. I don't expect a big crowd, but they may not even, coaches may be correcting things Naz and I say across the court. Be like, oh, yeah, no, that's not exactly right.
I may come to heckle you.
It will be quiet there. Yeah. But it's going to be fun.
It's going to actually be nice for me because usually the band is so loud I can never hear clearly in the huddle.
Actually, we had one of the coaches say, we really need to be careful the choice of language we use when it's going to be as quiet as it will be in the arena.
See, it's what you do when no one's looking.
It's what you do when no one's looking.
He's like, we're going to have to be aware of that.
Character and Lawson.
Right.
You know what? I was saying this to somebody the other day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sports in this world, right? You got football season, you got all the different stuff that goes on, and Joe Jauch, Matt Warner, Emily Austin, we all love sports.
Absolutely.
Right? But I'll tell you this right now. There is nothing like March Madness.
Nothing.
Oh my gosh!
It is the absolute best.
I was so worried you were going to start talking about the JPL.
Oh well,
I was on the edge of my seat.
Well, but that's part of it. I mean, it all comes together nicely.
There's nothing like March Madness.
Yeah,
you know, the games going, the buzzer beaters.
It's so fun.
Absolute best. Like, I don't know about you, but like I would skip class every year, Thursday, Friday, the first 2 days of the tournament, just to lock in. It's nothing better. Basketball.
It is fun. You can hear in like the hallway of our office, like everyone has their TVs on and all the games going.
Listen how crazy this is. This I have memory come back.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna get a little bit emotional.
Oh gosh.
Once again, this is the second time. My dad and I, right? Think about this back in the early 80s, right? My dad and I, they had the one TV station, and they would cover, because you only watch one game back then.
Yeah.
Like they had put on the CBS night game, and you had you still had 64 teams in these, but you know, we have multiple screens
and they'd
going
be like,
now.
this game's out of hand, we'll
switch over to whatever, right? And but they had this guy, and they ran it like a telethon kind of deal. You could call and you would give money to them. And then they would switch it from, you could watch this game and watch this game. It was unbelievable. This was like 1980 something.
Oh, was this the same year you walked uphill both ways to school?
Oh, stop. I did do that. You don't even want to hear about those stories. I spent the first 12 years of my life in Canada. Okay, so don't even get on me. That's where I did my mile training, by the way. By the way. But yeah, you could do this. They had this TV thing where you call in and then you get all these different games. It was unbelievable. Great memory. Me and my pops used to sit around and watch the ball.
All that to say,
thanks for that
Liberty will play the Bellarmine North Florida winner Tuesday night. So hopefully everybody comes out for that one. Should be great. And listen, I know, Joe, you were at the last game of the regular season against Queens.
Yeah.
A little dicey that first half.
Darius McGee was held scoreless.
Scoreless the entire first half.
Were you able to find if Darius
Somebody
McGee
said
has
it was the
ever gone?
first time since the beginning of the year against Manhattan last year, he gone the first half without scoring.
Okay.
So it's been like a year and a half. But good news is he had just by his standards, an awful first half. They still led. They still led at the break. Some other guys stepping up. They found a way to get to the free throw line. They had a stretch of over 9 minutes without a field goal, and then another stretch of over 3 minutes without a field goal in the same half. So that's like over 12, 13 minutes. They did not score in the first 20 minutes, but they found a way to lead. Second half, McGee comes alive. Because, going into that game, Naz is like, you just want to finish the regular season feeling good, going in with some confidence. And then after that first half, we're like, oh, boy.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And I thought it was good. You know why I thought it was the whole time I'm watching that game, right? And you're watching that develop, like Darius is struggling early. You can see he's struggling. And he said it on our podcast. He's like, guess what? You got times where it's not going in for you. Right? So you just keep on playing. Eventually it'll get there. Right? But what I thought was great about that game was you saw the culture of Liberty basketball. It wasn't hey, Darius is cold right now. We're in a tough game with Queens right now. So we got to get a little bit panicky. Right? They never got panicky. You could tell that the other guys on the floor were just as confident in themselves taking shots, just as confident in the system that they believe in. And so those are the times that you need to go through in order to test that. And if you just stick with it, because that's really, Richie McKay, by far, I don't care what sport it is, the team is an extension of the personality of the head coach. You hear that often. It's so very true. And that's exactly what Liberty basketball is. They are an extension of the head coach. And it's like a core belief in the system, a core belief that there's no need to panic. This is who we are. This is what we're going to do. And if you just stay with it, eventually it'll take care of itself. And that's exactly what happened. Because some of those dudes stepped up.
By the way, by 20.
By the way, we won by 20.
You look at me and well, I guess, you just look at the final score and you think, wow, it was an easy walk in the park.
It didn't feel like this in the moment, but when you think, okay, Liberty's up by 2 at halftime, and literally Darius McGee has 0 points. Even if he hits 3 shots in the second half, Liberty's going to be just fine. But it was just a weird flow. Like the whole game just seemed like such a weird flow.
Well, I was also playing the same team the second time in 3 days, so that may have added something to it.
But I think it's
the calls were a little odd
second half,
in some
they tightened it up
areas.
a lot.
But I think it was just good for that to happen, because in order to win a championship, whether you said there was 2 big spells that went on for a long, but in order to win a championship, that's exactly what is going to happen, because some teams will cave under that. Like you hit that panic button a little bit early, and then Darius doesn't get hot, right? It's like, oh, that's our only way we're going to win. That's not who Liberty is anymore. Like, you know, you look at the bucket. I think Zach Cleveland came in the game and gave a really nice, strong move underneath for a nice bucket. You know, Kyle Rhodes, you can tell the leadership of the team is that they'll never hit the panic button. And if they can get to Kennesaw State again, Kennesaw State's a tough, well, obviously you got to get there, but Kennesaw State's a tough basketball team.
Whoa. One game at a time.
One game at a time.
Joe.
We're not going to move ahead, but everybody knows.
Yeah, right.
Everybody knows that's where that's everybody sees the writing on the wall what this thing should get to, and if it gets there, it's like Kennesaw State has their recipe to beat Liberty. They've climbed a big mountain in order to get that win they finally got. Now it's like you're going to see the culture at Kennesaw State. Once again, hopefully get there, and you're going to see the culture at Liberty. Yeah. And I think that's going to be fun.
When you look at the two brackets really quick, if you aren't familiar, Liberty's bracket is North Florida, Bellarmine, obviously Liberty, Eastern Kentucky, and North Alabama.
So the key to remember, though, is they reseed after the quarterfinal game. So if Liberty, let's say North Florida wins tonight and Liberty were to beat North Florida, then they reseed so that the 1 seed or the highest seed will play the lowest seed no matter what the bracket says. So we don't really know exactly how it'll play out the rest of the way because they reseed that way. All we know at this point is North Florida or Bellarmine will be Liberty's.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, the teams in this bracket of, like, who Liberty needs to beat in order to, like, we don't know exactly which
Who could make a run? Who could be a...
Right, like who
We'll get to that. That's a mailbag question.
Okay,
on who kind of a dark horse sleeper go on a run for the team is.
So,
just so you know, on Kennesaw's side of the bracket, it's just the teams in that are Queens, FGCU.
They'll play the winner
Kennesaw State. They'll play the winner of that, and then Stetson, Lipscomb face off. Oh. So I've been praying. You know, I got a tight relationship.
That's good.
With the man upstairs. So I'm just praying that someone knocks off Kennesaw State and Liberty makes it to the championship.
I go back and forth.
Because I want the championship to be at Liberty.
Oh, that's fair.
I'm with you too. I'm split because as a fan, as someone that loves great competition, I want to see Liberty get another crack at Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
Right? I want to see that.
Yes.
But as a person that you're right, that would like to have the game here because that's easier and it'd be a great atmosphere and all that stuff. That would be great too. There's pros either way, but boy, how sweet would it be to go back to Kennesaw?
That's what I'm saying.
Beat them on their
That's
floor.
what I'm saying.
That would be sweet.
That's what I'm saying.
You just don't like it because you may have to drive down there to cover.
Well, that, yes. But then also, like, I think it's so much better when, and this is just at the pro level too, when you're at home when you win a championship. It's just so much better.
You want that. You want it. That second crack.
Okay,
I want to beat them again.
You drive to Atlanta.
Here's what my stance is on that, right? As a fan, obviously, you want to be at Liberty. That'd be awesome. Yeah. What a great atmosphere that would be. But as for the team and for Richie, the players, everybody, right, to go into Kennesaw, right? And it'll be, if you thought it was bad last time when they came back, that place was out of control, right? They'll be really amped up. And then you go in there and you shut them down. That will be fun.
All right, one other thing real quick. Yesterday it was announced Liberty signed Richie McKay to a contract extension through the 29-30 season. Now, listen, I like to think, and I think this is reasonable, to say Ian McCaw, maybe Jerry Prevost were watching last week's Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage and thought to themselves,
Emily has daddy issues. She doesn't want Richie McKay to leave.
We've got to keep this guy. We've got to lock this guy up. Now, we've got a little announcement here. Pleased to announce that Alcova Mortgage's partnership will coincide with this deal through the 29-30 season with the Flame Central podcast. I think it's fair to say. Right? Is that fair to
We've locked it. We've locked it up through 29-30 season.
Right.
Are we voting on this? Because I never got sent a ballot. Like, what?
You'll get, look in your junk folder. It might be in your junk folder.
Yeah, is it with my invite to the JPL? Whatever.
Right. They need to tell Liberty Athletics they need to tweet that out.
Yeah, they should.
We've also signed Alcova to a 29.
We can put it together in an announcement.
I'm sure.
Richie McKay wouldn't do the deal without Alcova Mortgage sponsorship along with his contract extension.
Number one, Richie McKay left his Jauch Talk mug here. B, that's why he doesn't have Twitter, so he doesn't have to deal with you tweeting at him all the time.
I think I think we agreed we'd ship it later. I think it's
he wanted me to hand deliver it so we could go over and talk through the game plan.
Okay, like Matt said, we have some great mailbag questions, but let's first get to this conversation with the 3K and 5K champion from this
She's the champ.
She's the champ. And then the runner-up in the mile. Let's get to this interview with Calli Doan. Okay, so let me just paint a picture for you. Saturday was the ASUN Indoor Track and Field Championships, and our MVP is now here joining us on the show. It's Calli Doan. She actually absolutely crushed this meet. She ran 4 races, and let me just paint this picture for you. As she's coming in to win and pass her competition in the 3K, she finds me and like still racing, finds me and points and goes, "Tell Joe Jauch to meet me on the track on Monday."
Right. That was,
I go, Calli, calm down.
The presence of mind to do that and then find her and all the people, that was incredible.
That is a true athlete. So I said, "Calli, come down." I think why she did so well in this meet is because you were such a trash talker about how fast you can run a mile.
Listen, before Calli starts a race, she looks at her opponents and she says this. She looks at him and says, "I'm going back to Calli. Calli."
No.
Yes. No. We're going. That's LL Cool J.
Yeah, no, I know what it is.
I mean, that's old school LL Cool J right there.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, right. See?
Will you please go listen to this song?
Okay.
I've never heard that.
We have Joe around for a certain demographic. Yeah, Joe's here for a certain listener demographic.
And then he says,
the new song to me.
Yeah. Okay. I know that not everybody is a track and field fan as much as we are, Calli, but they are going to be by the end of this interview. I promise. I have so much respect for you. I told you after the race, like 4 events in a 2-day period, over 7 miles of racing. Congratulations. This is just such a big moment for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, as a distance runner, conference can tend to be filled like that. I mean, Adeline Ackley, now Adeline Fairley, she did it last year as well. All of those events, when someone's hurt on the team, you sort of have to like fill in with the events. So
she's like, if I'm running it, I'm going to win it.
Might as well try to win. Does the adrenaline carry you more in those situations than you would think? Like, because you hear the sheer miles, and you're like, man, how? Like racing that far, does the adrenaline kind of give you that extra juice?
Oh, definitely. And because it's for a team title, you're thinking about your team. If it was for yourself, I mean, you wouldn't be running that many events. You would be focusing on one and going for time. But when you're thinking about your teammates, like I'm doing this for them, that's the focus. And then you have to take it like event by event. That's what my coaches kept telling me, like, we'll focus on this race, forget that you have anything else coming up. And then once you finish a race, you forget that it ever happened and you have to like move on, so.
Man. Well, I just want to talk about Joe Jauch for a second.
No. This is Calli.
Because I want you to explain what he would have. What do you think you can run a 6-minute mile?
No.
Because I don't think people really understand what your times are in these events. What was it you ran that
beat Coach Zeeland's record?
4:36.
In the mile.
Yes,
in the indoor mile.
That was in the were you in Boston?
Yeah, in the Boston.
And then
track.
Joe came out and said, I think it was 6 minutes. He said, and he was really hard. Like, I can do it. Then, like 2 days later, he texted me and he was like, "There's no way I can do this."
I retracted.
So he backpedaled faster than he would have gone forward if he was running the mile.
I was more of a sprinter type, about 800 meters as far as I ever went in my track and field career. And so then I started thinking about this, and I started thinking, mile times. And then I said 6, and you were right. See, I'm not afraid to admit when
this
you're right.
This has never happened on the Twins.
Now, I do want to say, Calli, don't let how Joe looks fool you. He was an athlete at one time. So he was a good athlete.
You know what?
He does the double vest to hide it all.
Every single time I talk about how good shape you are in, how much a stud you are, and then
let's go back to
throw that at me.
Okay, so Calli,
here's what I want to know. I want to know about your running style. So like
my style.
Yeah, so what's your best, what's your, like you said, the mile, the 3K, the 5K,
like what event?
What do you like doing the most?
People always ask me that, and I always say whatever I'm best in. So
what are you best in?
It changes. Like,
really?
Yeah, it changes depending on the year. I didn't think I was going to be going for the mile this year, but I just had great success in it. And so when I opened at Clemson in the mile, it went better than we expected. So we just kept going for that. I thought I was going to be 3K, 5K focused. But you sort of just go for what you're going to do well in. But I like all of them. My favorite is the mile.
Favorite's the mile?
Yeah, only 8 laps.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's very strategic the whole time. So that's my favorite event, but I always say I want to do what I'm going to be best at. So
what do you prefer, indoor or outdoor? Because just for our track people who don't know, indoor is half the distance, so you're doing double the laps. So mentally, I feel like that's hard on people. I also think running inside, like you don't have like a really scratchy throat. running those distances inside?
I feel like you get used to it.
Yeah.
No, they call it track throw.
Really?
It happens.
Really?
It feels
See,
like
Joe, this is another reason you couldn't have run it in 6
I didn't
minutes.
run it,
You have not prepped for track throw.
Yeah, you get track throw. Yeah.
I gotta get past my track throw. I gotta get past my. Once I get past my track throw, I can do this.
Yeah, it sort of, you taste blood in your indoor after you race.
That just shows you that I have never run far in my life. The fact that I have.
No, it's only inside, like that. It's really, really bad.
But I didn't have it this weekend. I mean, after you do a couple races and workouts on the indoor, you like get used to it. It's like those first couple races. We always call that first race your rust buster. That one.
I didn't even know.
So the thing is like a lot of these programs that you're competing against don't have indoor tracks. So you're competing or you're practicing and doing your workouts. So they all have track for it this week.
Well, we don't do our workouts on the indoor. We have only done workouts on the outdoor, but you get to do strides. Like after you run, you might come in and do strides in the indoor.
Oh, okay. So
but because it's so small, you don't want to run too many laps because it hurts your hips. It leads to a lot of injury if you keep going around and around.
You know how to make a mean left turn, that's for sure.
So now when you run the mile in indoor, okay, and there's two different, you had said beforehand that the pace was really slow. So tell us through this race that you finished second in the mile for ASUN, how that race played out.
Yeah, basically my strategy for every race was run as slow as possible to get as many points. So exert the least amount of energy that you can.
You're all team in this thing.
How
many points can I score?
How many points can I get for the team? You're doing so many events.
Commendable.
And you're not gonna run a fast time when you're running so many events. So that's the focus. So you never want to lead. The leader never wins. So you always want to go out in second or third, right on the leader, let someone else do the
Matt's
work.
Matt's been leading and winning his whole life, so I don't know if that's true. I compliment you.
Yeah, I win from the
front. Go ahead, keep going.
You lead in this, maintain the success.
It's just natural.
Well, I would always just tuck in, so I tucked in the mile, let some people lead it. And then at the halfway mark, so 800 in, we went through it like a 2:28, which is just below 5-minute pace, so pretty slow for people who are running 4:45.
What's a fast 800 to come in?
Normally, like when I ran at Boston, we went through at a 2:16.
Well,
that's a big difference.
10-second difference for a half
really
mile.
Big difference.
Yeah. So you're not running for fast time, you're running for a sit and kick. But then Lydia Miller from Lipscomb took it, and I just went with her, and she started hammering the pace. And I knew Sarah Hendrick from Kennesaw, the All-American in the 800. She was behind me the whole time. So I was waiting in my head. I was like, she's going to take it. She's going to take it. And she waited till the last 200. She zoomed around me. She gave me a little bit of an elbow, too.
She threw an elbow on you?
I
respect that.
But she was just trying to get around me as fast as she could. And so I tried to go with her, but she had it, so.
Tell us about the Boston race, though. That's the exciting one.
Yeah, that one was a great experience. I was going to see, if I could make nationals maybe. I knew it would be a great opportunity for a fast time. They have a lot of pacers, so no matter if you're in the first heat or the sixth heat, they have a rabbit, is what it's called, someone who paces.
I know that term.
Another term, yeah. And
weren't you a rabbit?
I was a rabbit.
You were a rabbit?
I was a rabbit.
Yeah, you did say that. And so I was in the fourth heat. I was hoping to be in the third heat. It was a little bit faster, but my other times put me back farther. So I knew I was probably going to try to win my heat and try to run the last half on my own a bit. But we had a pacer. She went out in 2:16, 2:17, and I just sat in third. And then when the pacer dropped off, I just stayed in my place, but then they started to slow down a bit. So I moved around one of the girls and stayed on the leader. And then the last 350 is when I took the lead and went through.
Hit the turbo.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you finished and you look up at the clock, did you know record?
I think I guess I realized, but I was more focused on, I was a little bit disappointed because I knew I needed it like under 4:35 to maybe get into nationals. But I was super excited about breaking the record, and Coach Heather was there.
She was there too. Was it kind of like one of those like if it were me and you broke my record, I'd be like, congratulations.
Yeah, he wouldn't even.
Like I wouldn't make eye contact with Joe. I'd just be like.
It was pretty emotional, honestly. Yeah. She came in like we were just hugging and like crying.
There's tears.
Yeah.
There's tears. I'm getting a little choked.
What's kind of crazy to me is I think that was 21 years ago. How long that record is held, but. That was a national champion time. And now you're not even qualifying for nationals. It's just like the amount that women's track and field
Wait, that
has.
time won the national championship.
Yeah.
Heather did?
So Coach Heather, she made it to make it to indoor nationals, you have to be the 16th top score. So whether it's time or distance of, for your jumps or whatever it is. And she got in with a 4:43. And then she made it to finals, like during the prelims, with a 4:39. And then she won her race in a 4:38. So she just kept PRing. Yeah. But I ran a 4:36, and I don't even know if I'm top 50 right now.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just so crazy how much.
Yeah, I think right now it's like a 4:32 or 4:33 to get in. So it's a lot of the people who are 5th and 6th years are here. We call them the super shoes. We all have the super shoes. The momentum of all of it. So do you know what I'm talking about with the super shoes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Super Shoe Warehouse, is that what you're thinking of? Yeah.
So wait, what year are you?
I'm a 5th year.
This is a 5th year for you. Okay, so this is your last go around. Then.
No,
you got the COVID year.
Yeah, and I was injured last year, so I get a 6th year.
Nice. Nice.
I want to talk a little bit about your training, because with the training and the separation of distance that you're like racing, it's just, I don't know. That's what, to me, like, if you're a mile runner, your training schedule is going to look much different than a 5K runner. So it's just the fact that you're not only racing both, but you're competing at a high level is just why I'm like a track nerd. So I think it's so impressive. So just talk about what your training is like and what you gear that training toward.
Yeah, currently it's basically 5K training, 5K, 3K, but you get the speed for the mile from doing different races. So this season I ran mostly the mile and a couple 800s, and that gave me some speed work. And then after every easy run, we always do strides. So like it's basically 4 100-meter sprints. And even though it's not a workout day, you're working on your speed and getting it in that way. And then your workouts are more geared longer distance. And so speed comes a little bit more natural to me. I don't need like a speed session, maybe compared to someone who is more naturally 10K, 5K oriented. So yeah, I'm doing mostly 5K training. And that's basically what all of our girls are doing, unless you are focused on 800 mile.
Okay. What's your mileage a week right now?
For indoor, it's been in like the 60s.
Okay.
Normally I'm in the 70s.
That's so crazy. Matt hasn't walked.
I haven't driven that far just from here to the office in a week. That's probably true.
That's so
all right,
cool.
tell me this. Men's, women's teams both win the ASUN Indoor Championships.
They always win.
They always win. Like it is.
Well, it was close this year for women.
Was it close?
That's why she.
Yeah, well, and we lost 2 years ago.
That's why her points were like such a big deal, and like her winning the 3K pretty much solidified the women's victory. So she is a team player.
But I mean, the expectation year in and year out is you're going to be right there. If you don't win it, you're going to be right there. What is it about your program as a whole, and you see it from the men's side and the women's side, that has created that kind of environment? What makes you guys so special that you can do that year after year?
Yeah, I think it's been a history of pouring energy into every event. Some teams only focus on maybe distance, or they focus on sprints. But Liberty has always focused on getting people in every single event. And then I think just the classic motivation of Liberty of if it's Christian, it should be better. And so we always strive to do our best. And if we're in conference, we're going to go for the win. And I think that does make a big impact. So,
What made you choose Liberty from the jump?
Yeah, I always wanted to go to Liberty. I never applied to a different school, actually. My whole family went here. My mom went here. All my siblings.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And I knew I was coming. I applied like going into my senior year, like super early in the summer, but I didn't think I was gonna run.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, I didn't know I didn't confirm that I was gonna run on the team until like halfway through my senior year. I didn't think I was good enough then, and I've improved a lot since then as well.
Enough.
But
you're good enough.
You tell me this all the time.
We tell Emily this every week, but yes, yeah. That's incredible.
Calli?
I'm from Apex, North Carolina.
Apex, okay.
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
We're
such a
glad
great
it worked
story.
out.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Me too.
Yeah, it's worked out great for the team and for you. And it's exciting that we'll get to do it a whole nother year. That's unbelievable.
Wait, so you were here when Tolsma was still coaching, right?
Yep,
so what's that transition been like? Has it just really not? I mean, obviously you guys haven't skipped a beat as far as
Lance man was
winning.
just a mean guy. He's terrible.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
he yells nonstop.
Yeah.
He's very abusive.
Oh my gosh!
How
Don't
do you
even
do
joke
it,
about
Calli?
that. It's so not true.
Yeah.
No, Coach
Lance
Bingham.
Man's the
love
nicest
He is
guy.
the best
He's the
guy.
nicest guy in the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a father figure, and I think the transition went really smooth because you know, Coach Tolsma prepared for it and had asked Coach Bingham to come in, and Coach Bingham had been at Liberty years prior, so it was super smooth. I feel like I didn't even notice almost, and I think. Yeah, Coach Tolsma was just with me for 1 year, and then it switched to Coach Bingham. Or no, it was 2 years. It was during that COVID transition. And so Coach Bingham has done a great job, and it's felt like he's been here forever. But yeah, he's very supportive. And he, with the success that we were talking about with the teams, I think some head coaches for track programs could be focused on one event group themselves, but he always is focused on everyone and as individuals. And it's like he always knows your name, no matter how many people are on the team. So
yeah, he told me in our interview at the end of the meet, you know, Calli Doan contributed, I think it was 20 points or so.
Yeah, 28.
But impacted about 50 points because of just how like you pour into other teammates and just like who you are as not only a runner but a person. How do you think that Liberty and all, not only Coach Bingham, but I mean Heather Zeeland, like your relationship with her has grown you into who you are today?
Yeah, there's a lot more to it with running than just get on the track and like run as fast as you can. It's so mental, and so how you prepare and who's pouring into you does make a big impact. And like I had said earlier with you on that weekend, Coach Heather has been such an inspiration, and just the way that she brings her faith into her coaching and shows how we can bring our faith into running really affects how I train. And then she pours into me, and then I can pour into the other girls. And it's really just this chain effect.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I remember when we did a story on her, she actually prayed before that national championship race in the indoor mile, and like no one wanted to pray with her. And then she basically went out there and was like, "You're gonna pray with me next time." You know, I just won. No, but were you gonna say one more?
One last thing. Calli, let's get through all this stuff, really. And I know
give him his splits that he needs to break 6 in the mile because it's never going to happen.
That you have a lot of extra time on your hands.
Right.
Oh,
Being a full-time student.
She's
and
not
track
going to
athlete.
train you.
And yes, she's going to train you. Is it possible that we can just carve out a little bit of time in your schedule and that you can begin to train me for the 8-minute mile that I have to break?
An 8-minute mile?
Yeah, that right?
No, you could do that right now. Do you work out?
So,
right now?
no.
You can do an 8-minute mile.
No, I can do 8 minutes.
So
Calli,
she's
what is a
basically running an
legitimate-
800 and what you would
No,
run a
no,
400
stop it.
at that
I'll go
pace.
lower
That's
than 8 minutes.
ridiculous.
I'll go lower than 8 minutes. But so give me a legitimate time that I should shoot for.
Well, I feel like I need more background to give you a time here.
I am a former track athlete.
What were your events?
100,
We're not
200,
talking about
400.
middle school.
I ran the 800 one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you run at all now?
I don't do a lot of running.
So more of a shuffle
I'm a shuffler.
than a run.
I'm a
Okay.
shuffler,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I play a fair amount of pickleball.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is a
love
high
pickleball.
lot. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
Are you?
I love it.
Guess what? They have a whole league.
Yes.
I'll
Hey,
wait till I
invite
show
you
you.
out. We'll invite you out.
We'll have you out.
Thank
No,
you.
Calli,
Title
we'll have
IX
you out.
issues
Yeah.
are all over
Calli,
this league
Calli, we'll
because they don't
have
have
you out.
they don't allow women to play. It's
Yeah.
like the Masters of pickleball.
We'll make an exception in your
It's
case.
ridiculous.
Calli, you can come out.
We don't allow some women to play.
Oh my
There's only
gosh,
certain
it's
women.
so
Yeah.
unfair.
No, I think we could do this, Calli. I think
Okay.
7
Train you
minutes,
for a
under 7
mile.
minutes.
In
I
a-
think you could do under 7 minutes for sure.
In a matter of what, 2 weeks, he's gone from. Okay, put your retirement on it.
We've
Emily.
had
I can break a 6-minute
We've had
mile.
a number
to,
of people reach out that say we need to video Joe Jauch.
Yes,
running
it's a
mile.
segment.
So we'll see if we can
Pace
do
them
that.
off.
I don't even know if you can finish a
Yeah.
mile. If you've only run one
He's more quick
800.
than fast,
I
I'll
got
say
runner's
that.
cough.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Track throw.
Yeah, runner's cough. Yeah.
I don't know if it's an actual term. I don't know. We say it.
Yeah.
No, it's
Just thinking about it.
but it's a real thing.
Yeah. Finish lap 2, I'll be like, cut it off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Oh,
being.
he's got track there.
Yeah. Shut it down.
Sorry, shut it down.
Yeah, it's like to not finish. It's like track road. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so happy for you and all of your success, and looking forward to carrying it over into outdoor and following you.
Let's run it back next year.
Calli,
let's do it.
Flame Central Podcast. There's that camera right there. Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. Go ahead.
Wait, what do I say?
Flame Central Podcast.
Flame Central Podcast.
Powered by Alcova Mortgage. Say it with them.
Powered by who?
Alcova Mortgage.
Alcova Mortgage. Right now?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Bam! She nailed it.
It's beautiful.
You made my day. Thank you,
I might
Calli.
lose my job.
Yeah.
Calli,
What
thanks
is
so
that? What
much.
am I saying?
Don't worry about it.
Show. Don't worry
It's a
about it.
sponsor. It's just a little sponsor clause.
She's like, oh my gosh, did I just get
No,
myself
you didn't
in
say
trouble?
anything bad.
Thanks so much again. We'll definitely be following your success into outdoor. Yeah.
You're the
Thank
best,
you.
Calli.
You're the best.
You're the best.
Not to brag, but my favorite part of that conversation was when Joe Jauch said that I was right. Can't wait for this training to begin.
Yeah.
I am going to personally get a camera. We don't need any of our
I think
guys.
we can set this up.
I'm
Joe trains for a
documenting.
couple of months, and then we meet out at the track. We shoot the footage, and it's beautiful.
Stadium steps. I'm going to carry the log. I want video of me carrying the log
log
over my
in
shoulder.
the snow, high
That
knees.
literally has
And
nothing to do with
you at
running
the top of
distance.
sharp top saying, Calli!
Yes.
We can make this
100%.
happen. Yeah, we can make this happen.
No,
I'm glad we're on the
so
same
bad.
page here.
Calli's,
I know, you guys
Calli's
just
my
had it,
trainer.
like,
I won't say
harmony.
Calli.
Oh, okay.
I won't say Calli because she's my trainer.
Oh, right.
I'll be at the top of shop time and I'll go, Austin.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Emily Austin.
Got it.
Yeah,
Nice.
because she's the one
Right.
that doesn't believe in
That
it.
makes more sense. All right.
That will do nothing to distance training, but
Yeah.
you go ahead, buddy.
Yeah.
I like how that number jumped up to 8, though.
Yeah.
8 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, so
Well, give
you're
or take.
running a 400 one
I
lap
am
in what she does in an
Does it
800.
have to be continuous laps?
Oh my gosh!
Like,
that-
what if you ran
absolutely.
a lap and then
Stop
you
for a
time
smoke
out?
break.
Yeah, right. A
Sure,
quick,
that's-
quick snack.
Whew, it's not
Yeah.
a smoke break.
Hydrate.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now your second lap.
You're-
Yeah, could we do it like that?
No.
You ever see the John?
That-
You ever see the John Belushi
Yes.
Wheaties
Yeah.
things when he's training the Olympics? Like he's
Yeah.
on the Wheaties, he comes through and he finishes, and then you hand him a
The
cigarette.
little chocolate donuts.
Yeah,
Is that the same
little
one?
chocolate
Yeah,
donut, he's smoking a
yeah,
cigarette.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She is, I just admire her so much because I just think that I understand, unlike you guys, how incredible these times are and just the effort that it takes to run 4 races and just finish them, let alone like come and runner up and.
We get to the
winning.
mailbag now.
Yes, I'm sorry. I will stop talking about Calli Doan, but congrats again.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on
Mailbag.
to
Mailbag.
All right, we got 3 entries this week in the mailbag, okay? Here's the first one. It starts Joey.
Oh, Joey,
Oh,
nice.
Joey, okay.
Okay, so
Pretty informal.
this tells me
Yeah.
this has got to be an old high school or college friend. would be my
Not true,
guess.
but not true. I'll tell you who it's
Okay,
from.
all right.
Joey,
Yes.
what will make you cry more?
Oh.
UNC not making the NCAA tournament,
Oh.
the Flames not winning the ASUN tournament, or Matt Warner winning the JPL season? This comes from our old friend
Oh.
Matt Bird, who's a,
Birdie!
who's a loyal
Birdie,
lister
Birdie,
out
yes.
in Lubbock, Texas.
Yes. Now
I
the
miss
reason
Bird.
Birdie called me Joey
Yeah.
is because he's in Texas now,
Mm.
and a guy that I played with runs the Alcova branch out in Texas. So I
Oh.
referred Matt
It
to
all
him,
comes together.
and he,
yeah.
and he specifically told Matt to only call me Joey.
6 degrees
So that's why I
from
came to that.
Alcova Mortgage.
6 degrees.
So what makes you
So
cry
what
more?
would make me cry the most?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna say Warner winning
That would
this
sting,
season.
wouldn't it?
Warner winning this season would really sting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Matt
the
loves it.
heels.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna put Warner winning
Yeah.
the paywall season.
Yeah.
Right. The heels have not had a great season. Now, a #1 ranked team in the nation preseason to not make the tournament.
Yeah, sounds like a.
Oof.
That one would hurt. But I'll tell you what though, the Flames. I think the Flames have an opportunity to not just go to the tournament, but to hopefully win a game or two in the tournament. So you got to see him get the opposite. I'm going to go with Matt Warner, make me cry 1, Flames 2, Tar Heels 3.
That's good. That's good. All right, next question. This comes from Bailey. In the broadcast on Friday, Naz referenced the fact that there's always a dark horse in the bracket. In our
They
opinions,
say about that in the mile with me.
who's you are definitely the dark horse. So dark you can't even see it. Who is the dark horse team in the bracket this year.
You're a dead horse.
And outside of LU, who's one player that you think could be a difference maker? So this goes back to what you referenced early on, like who could be a team that makes some noise. I think one team that really people talk about is FGCU.
Yes.
They're the 10 seed for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Like they have to play tonight.
It's crazy.
But we've had coaches tell us they're the most talented team in all of the ASUN. They just haven't put it together. And they're scary. If they get by Queens tonight, which is no small task, like if you're Kennesaw State, you got to believe, FGCU can beat Kennesaw State. They're that talented. So that's a team that could do it. Flames fans don't want to hear it. North Florida is a scary team.
Experience.
No one has made more three-pointers in ASUN play than North Florida. They're 8th in the country in three-pointers made per game.
Ouch.
They can fill it up. They have 3 veteran guards that can just flat out shoot it. And so they are a scary team. And I always worry about that team that gets one under their belt. You know, you never want to be in like the quote-unquote play-in game or whatever. Right. But there is some value sometimes to getting through a game. And you feel like, oh, we got one under our belt. A little bit of pressure off. And now you're playing a second game when somebody else is playing their first and just trying to get into the flow of it. So that's another scary team for me that should they get by Bellarmine tonight, could be a challenge for Liberty.
Yeah, I agree with both of those. You know, Queens, you think of that because it's going to be their third if they did make it to the championship, playing them 3 times in such a short amount of time. But what concerned me about them was how well they guarded Darius McGee. But I think when you look back at like the season, Darius rarely has nights like that. The last one was Eastern Kentucky. I think it's going to be a while for him to be in a slump like that again. So I would say FGCU, North Florida are really, really scary teams. But also, I think the player that could be a difference maker for the Flames is Brody Peebles. You know, like he had a hot shooting start to this season. He hasn't been really filling it up lately, but I think that if he can be on, I mean, but then you see like Blake Preston and how he really carried the Flames through in the post in the last game. So those 2 guys I think could really, really help.
I think if you're picking one player outside of Liberty that could put the team on his shoulders and carry him legitimately to a championship, not just a good run, but to a championship, it might be Chris Youngblood with Kennesaw State.
Youngblood.
We saw him play really well when they beat the Flames.
Good.
He is tough, big body, strong kid. Like, that's the one guy that I feel like he's the leader of that program. Like, he could be that kind of guy.
How long has he been there?
This is his 4th year.
Yeah.
All right, let's get through all the nonsense.
Yeah.
But
I
thought the question meant like who other than Darius McGee for the
other than Liberty.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But you know what?
Then yes,
let's get through all the nonsense.
Okay.
It's the Flames versus Kennesaw State in the championship. Yeah. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
He's going to have you clip that and
That's
edit
true.
that.
I'll clip it and send it to you, so if it gets there, you can push it out to your phone.
Love it.
All right, finally, last mailbag question. This is a tough one. Frankly, I even debated putting this on the air.
Oh, wow.
With the success, this comes from Michael, your buddy Michael, down there in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
He's powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Oh, yes, he's been powered by Alcova Mortgage.
That's right.
For all your real estate needs, go to Michael.
That's right. With the success of men's basketball this season and all the talk of this being the best season in school history, how would or how should this season be remembered if they don't win the conference tournament? How do you remember this season? When you think back on it 10 years from now?
Why are we talking negative?
I know. They're going to win. They're going to win. Let's just get it. But if
you remember this season as the season that Darius McGee put it all together and his senior year, that's the thing. Like to come out on senior night the other night and see all that he had done for Liberty's program, everything that he
It took him 10 minutes to finish reading all the accolades. It took
10 minutes to get through everything.
Like they were ready to tip off, and they're like, hey, could you finish? Let's go.
Do you remember that Darius McGee senior year? And not only that, but like the other guys around him and how much you can tell that they really appreciate Darius McGee, what kind of person he is, what kind of player he is, everything that he's meant to the program. I think
you're right. I think you'll remember it as the year that Darius put the team above himself.
Yes.
Not that he hasn't done that in past years,
yes,
but legitimately, he could have gone and made money playing someplace this year, right? Most guys would do that. But he said, no, I want to see if I can get this team back to the NCAA tournament. And he put team above himself. And I think, kind of to your point, you were saying the humility, that's what I think I'll remember this season for, is the year that Darius said, no, I want to help these guys reach that level that maybe hadn't had the opportunity to.
Really, because, I mean, he's going to be such a hard void to fill. Sure. It's like, I mean, and Richie McKay's been very honest about that. So I think this, again, going, I agree with both of you, but putting that real imprint on these guys, the Colin Porters, the Brody Peebles, they call them, they're 0-1-2 on their jerseys. They call themselves the Three Migos. And Darius calls himself the big brother. I'm like, at this point, you're pretty much a grandpa. But I just think that what he was able to pour into them, because yeah, he can like have a phone call with Colin Porter and be like, hey, when I was there, but just like spending a season and really like molding him as a guard, I think that that's gonna really pay. We're gonna see that for years to come with those other guys.
It's amazing. I'm amazed by how good Colin Porter is.
Yeah.
For as young as he is, and he's a small guy.
Yeah.
But he impacts winning. Like that's so true what Coach McKay says.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's gonna be fun to watch.
I mean, he's gonna be fun to watch for the next few years.
Yeah.
He's starting to get comfortable around the rim too. It's been fun.
Score more too.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. Yeah.
Awesome.
And these seasons are not easy on freshmen.
No.
I mean, because this thing gets long, and it's like, there's a difference in high school. Like, you go to high school and you're a star player, and you go out and you're beating teams, you know, and you know you're going to play some bad teams and whatnot, but when you're always in the pressure cooker. When you get to college, like, you're expected to perform every single time you show up, and that takes its toll over a long period of time for a young kid mentally. And for him to be playing some of his best basketball right now, at as young as he is, says a lot about that kid.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Awesome. Women have finished the regular season winning 13 straight, so congrats to them.
Well,
I'm getting one more shout out.
I thought they were done.
No, they're still going, but they play Wednesday this week.
Oh, okay. So they play Wednesday.
So, yeah, they keep it rolling.
Man, I guess I need to.
And then it's Florida Gulf Coast in that league, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be the 1-2 showdown.
Hopefully you get that opportunity as well.
I mean,
hey, if you want to tune in to ESPN Plus tonight to check out the broadcast between, or come to the game,
try to find a ticket. It could be a packed
sit right next to me in Nass.
Yeah, seriously. Then
you know,
that
it's good
tips off at 7 o'clock.
Down there on the came down.
Joe, literally, it's like we're getting ready for the broadcast, right? And we hear CJ, our producer, be like, "All right, 30 out." Here comes Joe walking gets right between us. He's like, CJ, it's like 10, 9. We're like, get this guy.
Security?
Yeah, right.
I knew exactly what I was doing the whole time.
Yeah, you would think that he would knew
this
a little
ain't my
bit about
first
production.
rodeo. This ain't my first rodeo.
If you're looking to buy a home, he's the guy that can help you. Joe Jauch, go to the Google machine. It's Alcova Mortgage.
Yep.
Jauch.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. One last shout out.
Yeah.
One last shout out. I'd like to give a shout out to my son Jared's assistant basketball coach in Huntington, Indiana.
That's right.
For the Huntington Foresters, who are currently ranked 18th in the nation, won their quarterfinal game, won their semifinal game. They're playing for the Crossroad League's championship on Tuesday night. Also.
Sounds super important.
It is super important.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying I don't know. Like maybe do they have reporters? Do you get paid for giving the shout-outs?
Joe has done a game.
Yeah, I did a game.
He called one of the games.
I called a game.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
Put it on your reel.
It's very exciting for the Foresters. They've climbed that road back to the top of the conference, which is
follow Joe Jauch's Twitter account.
Follow my Twitter. You get some Huntington Foresters updates.
Right.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. Remember to send your questions and comments to flamecentral@liberty.edu. Otherwise, we'll see you right back here next week.
See ya.